So, I don't know if my hypothesis is going to be entirely correct in this video or not, but I suspect with the addition of Doom Guide of Fortnite, there's going to be a lot of other people who are coming to Doom Eternal for the first time, wondering what the game is all about. And honestly, I want to help them out and shit, so I'm making this video to help you guys out. In this video, we'll be going over the best way to kill each and every demon, how to move around the map and stuff, because in Doom, you want to constantly be on the move. You don't want to sit in one spot for too long. And just in general, a bunch of tips and tricks to help you just get better at the game. Now, please do keep in mind that when I say like the best way to kill each demon, I'm not saying this is the only way you should be killing these demons, because I could say, hey, this demon requires this gun for the best and most effective way to kill it, but that doesn't mean you have to kill it that way every single time. You can kill it however you want. These are just the ways that I found the fastest and the ways I use most often. Firstly, right off the bat, I want to say I believe within the first level of the game will tell you about weak points, and I want to stress this enough. Do not underestimate weak points, as they will actually damage the demon a whole lot more if you hit those rather than just shoot at them blindly. So please try to at least always go for weak spots if you can. It's okay if you don't, but I always try to. Now, firstly, I want to talk specifically about weapon mods, because depending upon what weapon mods you choose for what gun first, this will greatly affect how you should be playing the game, at least in the beginning of the game. I recommend, because you will get the combat shotgun first, I recommend for that gun always going with the sticky bombs first, as you can shoot them pretty far, so it effectively makes, like a long range shotgun, but it also sends out a pretty decent sized explosion, and it's good for just taking out enemies far away in general. And you can shoot it at weak points. In the first level of the game, you will encounter the Arachnotron, which is a heavy demon, I believe. If you shoot a sticky bomb at its little turret, it'll explode, and so it won't do that if you choose the full auto mod. And if you shoot a sticky bomb into the mouth of a Cacodemon, it'll send it into a glory kill state without you having to do any extra damage. You'll know when you can perform a glory kill on a demon because it'll be flashing blue and orange. Glory kills are really good for getting health back, as they will give you health when you actually perform them, but I don't recommend doing a glory kill every single time a demon is in a glory kill state. I only really find myself performing glory kills on things like Mancubus, Cyber Mancubus, Cacodemons, Pain Elementals, Revenants, just some of the more heavy demons. And when I do need health, I don't go for the heavy demons like the ones I just listed. I instead try to find a fodder demon like an imp, a zombie, or a soldier, and I instead shoot them twice with the assault rifle or the battle rifle, whatever you want to call it, and that'll send them into a glory kill state, and I'll just quickly glory kill them and back out. Now, I want to talk about the first 4 weapons you unlock in this game, because they are essential to how you will be performing for a small chunk of the game. I already talked about the combat shotgun. I want to talk about the battle rifle next. I always recommend going for precision bolt first, as it does extremely high damage against just a lot of fucking demons. It does an insane amount of damage, and I always recommend going for that. It'll one-shot fodder demons. It'll one-shot weak points, and it's all around just a really good upgrade to get. Now, I won't be talking about the combat shotgun because we just went over that, but the full auto mod for it is extremely good as well, but I always recommend getting that second. So next up, I want to talk about the plasma rifle, and I recommend going for the microwave beam for this thing because it can actually stun demons for a second, and I don't use it very often. I rarely ever use the microwave beam to stun demons, but it can help in a very stressful situation if you have like a few fodders and like a Baron of Hell after you. You can just microwave beam the Baron real quick and just fucking get out of there, or maybe even just like flame belch the fodder demon and drop a grenade to blow them all up and get your armor back. But in that aspect, the ice bomb is also really good for situations like that as well, so that's what I find myself using most often. Next up, I always go for lock-on burst for the rocket launcher is just way more useful to me, and I always find myself using it a lot more than remote detonate. And not to say remote detonate is bad, because it's honestly not. It's just, in my opinion, lock-on is a far better upgrade for this weapon. Next up, I want to talk about runes, and the rune I always go for first is air control. Air control is a god-given gift in this game. You'll find that when you're playing Doom, if you're like replaying the campaign, I've noticed this a lot when I've done it. It's very hard to move around in the air, and it's very annoying to deal with. So the moment I get the chance to get a rune upgrade, I always go for air control first. And then, you know, you may be wondering, well, why don't you just stand on the ground and like move around? It's because in Doom, you don't want to be standing around for too long, and I tend to jump around a lot when fighting the demons because it honestly helps with avoiding the projectiles and, you know, the bullets that they shoot at you. I want to talk about the second rune I always go for as well. It's called Chrono Strike, and it slows down time when you activate a weapon mod in mid-air. And because I'm jumping around so much, this actually helps pinpoint my accuracy to a certain point that I need to shoot. And it also just helps with my accuracy in general. And it especially helps me because at times my aim is just so fucking off. I need the ability to slow down time to be able to hit my shots accurately. Before we get on with the video, I was originally going to say two more things, but I just forgot the other thing, so I'll say one of the other things I wanted to say, which is at a certain point in this video, you might see just Overwatch gameplay if I'm not too lazy to log on to Doom, because pretty much all my runs right now are nightmare runs, and I really don't feel like sweating my balls off because it's 1 in the morning when I'm recording this, so I'm sorry. But anyways, let's get on with the videos. So I quickly want to focus on the best way to kill demons in this game, and we will be trying to go over every single demon. For fodder, you'll mainly encounter a bunch of fodder at the beginning of the game, which is, you know, how it should be. A lot of weaker demons because you don't have as strong guns, so that is completely fine to just use your normal weapons on them that you have available to you at the time. Kill these guys however you want. They're honestly not going to be too much trouble later in the game. I will say, if you need health really fast and you have the assault rifle, 2 shots will put a fodder demon into a glory kill state, so I recommend, if you're low on health, just doing that real quick. It might take you some time to pinpoint your accuracy, but it'll be totally worth it in the end. You also want to treat these guys as ammo drops, because that's basically what they'll become to you later in the game. So first, for Arachnotrons and Cacodemons, we're going to be focusing on those 2 first, because you will encounter those in the first level. For the Arachnotron, by the time you encounter one at the end of the level, you should have access to the sticky bombs and the full auto mod for the combat shotgun. You want to sticky bomb the turret off because, you know, it's a great long range fighter, and that'll allow you to close the distance without taking a bunch of damage. And then once you've shot the cannon off and you've gotten close enough, you want to switch to your full auto mod and just blast it until it dies. And for the Cacodemon, you want to shoot a sticky bomb into its mouth, and that'll send it into a glory kill state that you can then just kill it with. I also found that for the Arachnotron, 3 rockets will also put it into a glory kill state, which is useful to know. And for the Cacodemon, later on in the game too, the Arbalest shot on the ballista will actually just kill it in 1 shot outright without putting it into a glory kill state, although the Arbalest shot does have a charge up time, so just be aware of that. Next up is the Hell Knight, and I found that shooting it with the full auto mod does help a lot, as it's kind of similar to the chain gun in a way. And if you want to, you can also quick swap to the precision bolt on your heavy cannon or assault rifle, once again, whatever you want to call it, as you're using the full auto mod on it, and that'll take care of it pretty easily. Later in the game, however, once you have access to the RPG, you want to lock onto this guy, and 3 rockets will just outright kill it. And once again, like the Arbalest shot, the lock-on has kind of a charge up to it. It just has to, you know, lock on by itself, and sometimes that can take a minute. But 3 rockets with the lock-on shot will just kill the Hell Knight outright. Next up is the Mancubus, and you'll probably die to this guy a few times before you actually kill it, which happened to me. Maybe you won't, I don't know, but in the loading screen, if you die to it, you'll notice that they shoot off the arm cannons with the precision bolt and swap quick swap. Wait, hold up. It's me. I am interrupting myself. Quick swapping is the act of once you shoot your weapon, you immediately swap to another weapon, so it cancels the reload animation. I've done it a few times in these clips, and it actually can increase the fire rate of certain guns, and it is honestly a really good method and what you should be doing if you actually want to get better at the game. To the rocket in between, each shot, and that's kind of how you want to take this guy out. You can just try to shoot it with the rockets outright, but when you first get the RPG, you won't have access to a weapon mod kit. It'll just throw you straight into an arena with a few mancubus, or a few mancubi, whatever you want to say. So I recommend just shooting off the weak points and also shooting rockets at it, as that'll deal the best damage possible, and it'll also get damage off faster. Later in the game, though, I honestly found myself taking this guy out with the precision bolt on the heavy cannon, AR, whatever you want to call it, and just the ballista, like no mods on the ballista, just a straight up ballista shot, as the ballista also has the capability of destroying weak points. So I would use the precision bolt on the heavy cannon to knock off one of its turrets, and then I would quick swap to the ballista and shoot off its other turret, and then I would just shoot at it until it dies. It should only take like maybe 2 or 3 shots after that. So, or alternatively, as I've stated multiple times in this video, you can just lock onto it, shoot the 3 rockets at it, and then just shoot another rocket at it and it'll die. Next up is the Revenant, and by the time you encounter these guys, you should have the precision bolt. I recommend just trying at least to shoot off both its cannons, and then shooting like maybe 1 or 2 stickies at it, and that should be enough to kill it. In the later game, though, I always found myself just using the ballista and the precision bolt against this guy, as it has 2 weak points, much like the mancubus. It's a little like guns at the top of it, and I shoot one of them off with the precision bolt, and then shoot the other one off with the ballista, obviously, and then I just shoot it until it dies. And you want to just keep quick swapping between those 2 guns. Another thing I do want to mention before we get on with the video is the fact that these are the best ways I've found to kill these demons, and I'm not saying to kill them like this every time. I'm just saying, like, these are what I found. This is what works for me. I don't do this every time, but this is what I do whenever I can. And so I'm going to be telling you that do this stuff whenever you can. It's okay if you can't always. Just find another path. I will tell you, though, that the super shotgun, the precision bolt, the rocket launcher, and the ballista are some of the best guns to use against pretty much most demons in this game. Okay, so for this next section, I have a bunch of demons listed in not alphabetical order. I thought it was, but I guess not. But I have a bunch of demons listed, all the ones we haven't gone over yet. I will try to not cut the audio as I go over these guys, but there's no guarantee. So first up, we have the Archvile. You can ice bomb this dude and then BFG it, and it'll go down with a single shot of the BFG. Or you can, freeze it and then just use the super shotgun ballista combo on it until it dies. Might want to throw a few frags in there. But I always recommend freezing an Archvile because they can get away. With Dread Knight, you can either do super shotgun or ballista or 3 rockets, and the 3 rockets will put it into a glory kill state. For the Baron of Hell, Jesus Christ, for the Baron of Hell, super shotgun, ballista, ice, and like frags. You can also throw a few blood punches in there. The minigun is also really good for it as well, and you can shoot some rockets if you want. The Carcass, I found that just SSG and precision bolt, SSG being super shotgun, is a really good combo. It should only take 1 shot of each to take it out. Whiplashes are a special case because there's 2 really good ways, maybe 3, of taking them out. For the Whiplash, we have 3 rockets, and that'll, if depending upon how much damage you've done to it, send it into a glory kill state or just outright kill it. You can either, SSG ballista it, or you can do 2 super shotgun shots up close. And then for spirits, just the microwave beam. It tells you that when you finally kill a spirit for the first time in the Ancient Gods Part 1. Prowlers, you can just super gun them up close, or you can launch a few frags its way, and that should kill it too. Frags being like the sticky bombs. Same case for the Cursed Prowler, but always try to keep your distance on this guy if you don't want to be cursed. I recommend just looking around for where he is at all times. The Stone Imp, the full auto shotgun mod, is like pretty much the only gun that does super good damage against him. In all honesty, it feels like a forced attempt to just get people to use that mod, but hey, who am I to say that, right? Or you can use the Sentinel Hammer on these guys. For the Tyrants, you can do, just as the game says, it's just best to shoot at these guys until they die. You can use high-powered guns like the Super Shotgun and the Ballista. I would also Ice Bomb it. If you're playing Tag 2, that Ancient Gods Part 2, you can use the Sentinel Hammer to stun it for a second, Ice Bomb it, frags, Blood Punches, throw some of those in there, and then Super Shotgun and Ballista combos, you're doing all that. For the Pinky, you can do full auto mod from behind. You could Blood Punch it anywhere and kill it. You can you can shoot it with the Super Shotgun from behind, and that'll kill it too. The Pain Elemental, 2 Arbalest shots will take that guy down. The Cyber Mancubus, I always try to Ice Bomb it, throw a Blood Punch in there, and then Super Shotgun it. Or, this is going to be a lot, by the way, you can just shoot 9 rockets at it, but I don't recommend doing that. Or, once again, another option, SSG Ballista combo. You'll notice a pattern with SSG and Ballista. It's a really good combo to use. Or you can swap out the Super Shotgun for the Precision Bolt, because that is a long-range weapon, so it'll just still do extremely high damage at long range. Anyways, where were we? Doom Hunter. You can Ice Bomb it and Blood Punch it 2 times, and then once it's off its sled, it can shoot it with 3 rockets. Or you can freeze the Doom Hunter, Blood Punch it, and then Super Shotgun and Ballista the little sled he's on, and then that'll pop him off the sled, and then you can shoot 3 rockets. Or, once again, you can Microwave Beam his shield off, and 3 rockets, you can shoot 3 rockets at him. It won't knock him off his sled, it'll just get rid of his shield, but or if you've Microwave Beamed off his shield, you can just Super Shotgun Ballista combo it. It doesn't matter. There's a few ways to take these guys down. Maker drones, headshots, of course. I call them white saviors, which is just like a funny joke. That sounds political, but I don't want to get political. It's just like a funny fucking joke to me, because they drop a bunch of health and like a bunch of just a bunch of ammo and health. For blood makers, these guys are a bit of a different case. They're pretty hard to kill until they get vulnerable. You'll know they're vulnerable when you hear a little tone that plays, and you just headshot them and they die. For the Marauder, you can cheese the Marauder. I believe to cheese the Marauder, when you go to stun it, you Super Shotgun it, and then Ballista it, and then Super Shotgun it, and then Ballista it near the ground, I believe. I could be entirely wrong about that, as I actually haven't done that. Or if you want to just cheese a Marauder and you're playing the Ancient Gods Part 2, you can Sentinel Hammer it and then just Super Shotgun it and Ballista it until it dies. For the Armored Baron, you can just shoot the weak point off, and then it's the same as the normal Baron. For the Riot Soldier, Riot Soldiers are like a fodder demon, but they have an impenetrable shield. So for this, I recommend Remote Detonate on your RPG or the frags. For Spectres, these guys include Pinkies and Whiplashes, my bad. So they include, like I said, Pinkies and Whiplashes. They have all the same weaknesses as their normal variants. However, you will not be able to lock on or use the meat hook on these guys. So for the Pinky, it's just like an Ice Bomb and a Blood Punch. And then for the Whiplash Spectre, you can do, if you're close enough to it, you can just do the SSG trick I taught you. You can do Super Shotgun Ballista, or if you want to, you can freeze them in place and use your Destroyer Blade mod on your actual Ballista. Oh my goodness. Wow. So that was every demon in Doom Eternal and how to effectively kill them. At least every demon, according to me. I don't feel like I'm forgetting any. But now it's on to actual movement. Movement is a very key part in this game. And I'm not going to be hopping on the Doom and just showing you how to move around, because you'll figure it out and there are explanations on how to do it. Honestly, what helped me get good at movement is watching how people play Ultra Nightmare and like the master levels and stuff. Um, you typically, I've noticed that like they strafe left to right, and it might be easier on mouse and keyboard because you can bind your weapons to like keys. Like one can be the combat, two the heavy cannon, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, so on. Right, so you can strafe left and right and just shoot at demons. You can also use the meat hook on the super shotgun to just grapple on the demon and just fly up into the air as well, which is really nice. You press A once you're close enough, and you'll just go flying up into the air if you meat hook them. You can also... Now, when strafing left and right, I do highly recommend, like, jumping up and down as well. You don't have... Like, at the start of the game, you don't have to jump up and down when strafing left or right, because you're not going to have the air control rune, which is really, really good for movement in Doom Eternal. And as I've stated, Doom is a very movement and momentum based game. So next up, I want to talk about a yeet hook. If you don't know what this is, it's the act of hooking it on to a demon with your meat hook and slowing down time, so that way when you release the meat hook, you just get sent absolutely flying. Now, this trick isn't the best on consoles, and I'm not saying that in terms of like it fucking sucks on console, because it doesn't. It's still really good on console, but it works a lot better on PC because how much momentum you get when performing a yeet hook is entirely dependent upon your FPS. The way to perform a meat hook, or I mean a yeet hook, sorry, is to meat hook onto a demon and hold the left movement key, and if you have Chrono Strike, that'll slow down time. And so you just hold the left or right movement key, so that way you go around the demon and you'll just get sent flying with momentum. Or if you don't have Chrono Strike as a rune mod on your thing, what you can do instead is the moment you meat hook onto a demon is you open the weapon wheel, because that'll also slow down time. And so once you've gotten enough momentum, or you feel like you've been hooked onto the demon for long enough to have some good momentum, you just let go and you'll go flying. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is pretty much like everything I know so far about Doom Eternal. There could still be a ton of stuff I'm missing, and this is just like general ways to take down every demon, general tips on how to move around and stuff. I'm not saying that this video, after watching it, is going to make you an absolute god at Doom Eternal, because it honestly won't. It's just going to help you get a bit better and help you perform better. If you're wondering what difficulty I recommend for a first playthrough, I recommend Hurt Me Pointy. I did that on my first playthrough, and it was a pretty good challenge, because it was my first time ever playing the game, so I do recommend Hurt Me Pointy. I'm working on an Ultra Nightmare run of Tag 2 right now, so that's pretty fun. I'm replaying Tag 2 a bunch of times on Nightmare just to work my way up. That's what I mean by working on it. So I haven't started the Ultra Nightmare run yet, but I'm getting there, and I'm practicing, and I'm getting better. But yeah, as I've stated before, this is just like general knowledge and like everything I know about the game, So I hope you guys did enjoy watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like. If not, who gives a fuck? Dislike it. I won't be able to see it, so it's not like you're gonna hurt my feelings. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much everything I know. I love you guys, and I will see you all later.